But essentially this is a machine. It has to be powered in. So it does have to be powered in, that's the only limitation. There are antennas, so if you've got weak internet, that will sort of help you get that internet. And then I bought mosquitoes in my little drink jar. Anything where you can keep a bit of ice and keep your mosquito samples cold. And then these are the collection of tubes that I gave out to you in your kits. So each mosquito, remember, 1 mosquito per tube, because we don't want to get them mixed up. So I bought 5 mosquitoes that were sitting in my fridge. Because of this study, we're going to get a new freezer, because my husband's like, we cannot have mosquitoes without food. They're starting to complain, so I will be getting a new freezer, but right now they're just sitting in the freezer. So, I mean, the freezer is fantastic. Once you collect a mosquito, it preserves it, and it'll preserve it indefinitely. So it doesn't matter if you come back in 2 years, I can still identify the mosquitoes for you. But hopefully we get them more regularly than that. So after we keep them in the fridge, I put them in the tray. So the machine works with a tray like this. So this is where we can put 12 mosquitoes at a time. This actually is 2 trays, so they have them as 2 trays. But there's enough space for 12 mosquitoes. Now, one of the common complaints about this machine is that it is slightly small. So our mosquitoes, because we live in a cooler climate, they're actually larger than most tropical mosquitoes. Because when it's warm, the mosquitoes develop faster, and so they're small in size. So this tray is not really designed for Canadian mosquitoes. So sometimes the legs will hang out a little bit. You've got to squeeze them into the template to make them fit, but it doesn't affect its ability to be able to identify the mosquito, especially the core part. So it's not the tip of the legs that's core, it's looking at the thorax, it's looking at some parts of the legs and the hairs. So if that part fits into the tray, that's going to be fine. And so there's 2, it's a magnetic, so once you put the mosquito in there, you can do 1 at a time, but you can do 12. There's a magnet on this, and so then it secures the mosquito. So again, that's 2 trays, so you only actually identify 1 side each time, and you put 1 side in the machine, it takes a video or image of the mosquito, and then like you would flip it, and then you'll say, take another image on the other side. And the reason why it does that is 2 images gives you a better chance of identifying that mosquito. And so I'm going to start putting in, I've got 5 mosquito samples here. This is the tedious part where we have to actually, so I've got numbers, 1, 2, 3. I just don't want to mix them up. So I've got the albopictus at the end. Have you seen the albopictus? Yeah? That is from Windsor, actually, the site of where the mosquito has emerged.
Wow.
It's small, it's a male.
Yeah, I've never seen this in Canada, this mosquito.
Yeah, it's small because the males are smaller than females, and with the females, they actually have to destroy them by crushing them because they isolate the females for viruses. So not only do the health units trap the mosquitoes and identify them, once they've identified them, they'll pull the mosquitoes together because you need to have about groups of 25 to be able to isolate viruses. Then it crushes the mosquitoes, and then it starts testing it for multiple pathogens. The part where I will be touching. I do have antibacterial wipes, but the part that grosses most people out is getting the mosquitoes to come out. Maybe I won't do them all. I'll do 2 at a time. Here we go. 2. And maybe I'll do the albopictus because we've been talking about it a lot. And you'll see, okay, so there's 3, I've spread them out a little bit. 1, 2, 3. But you'll see it on the screen a bit more. So the machine is on, so then I just go to trays to identify. Okay. And then now we go to capture tray. So you put it in, it clicks in, and then it captures the tray. And slowly, hopefully you'll see 3 mosquitoes pop up. First, it's the image that will pop up. So it's taken a really sharp image of the mosquitoes, and then soon it should put the labels in blue. So it identifies the Aedes albopictus correctly because it's very distinct. So mosquitoes that have very distinct features are more identifiable, but to be honest, they're not, I can't really see it that well myself, but if you're a trained entomologist, you'll be able to see. So the machine got that right. it doesn't know those ones too well. And so what we normally do then is I'm going to flip it around, take an image on the other side, and this improves the, so capture other side. Some of them, one of them might have been an unknown, I forget. If it's too damaged, it won't always give you okay, so it's just waiting. So see how the legs are on the side, it just doesn't fit. Okay, so now it's identified them. So with 2 images, this is now Japonicus, Punctopenis, and Albopictus. And all of them are actually quite scary. This is a West Nile virus vector. Well, Punctopenis is a Cache Valley virus. It's not as serious. And then this one is Tiger Mosquito. So this is the one that we're targeting for our citizen science study. This is a transmitter of chikungunya, dengue, Zika virus, and many other viruses too.
Are all these across the country, or are these particular species in Windsor? Do you find this in the GTA as well as in the BC area and Alberta? Because you told me there are some mosquitoes in Alberta.
Yeah. So there's mosquitoes all across Canada, different profiles, but these are, so this Albopictus was in Windsor. It's only been found in Windsor in Canada. But it is a vector of concern. Triggers the 2014 chikungunya, 2024 dengue outbreak. That's the main vector. So right now we're lucky in Canada. That's the only part. So, but my map says possibly GTA, and that's why I'm hoping if you can collect mosquitoes, but you don't know unless you catch it, right? So just because we've never caught it doesn't mean that we can say it's not in the GTA. Exactly. It's very likely that it's not in the GTA, but we don't know. But if you catch it, then we'll know it is. But so far, that's the only one that is restricted. Japonicus is all across Canada. So we get it in BC, in Alberta. This one was the one in my backyard. And then Punctopenis was also one in my backyard as well. And we get this actually when it's colder. This mosquito species likes it when it's a bit cold. So I found this in April and I froze it before I had the machine, took it out, identified it, and it is a species that comes out during the colder months, and then it kind of dies off a little bit and then it comes back in September, October. So it really likes the cold. But yeah, that's a machine. This is how it works. You can do up to 12. You saw how fast it did it in a minute. But it can do that for if you've got up to 12 mosquito samples.
And then this get recorded on their website, but on their website, the geolocation will just say Canada. Is that correct? On their website?
So on their website, they don't have it. They only have it if I add in the information. So collection methods, site. I haven't been given permission from the government of Canada to add that in.
That's a good.
So yeah, right now the only data that they have is the image, but they don't even. I can't even validate that for them because I'm a user of the algorithm. I'm not a lab where I know for sure this is a Japonicus. But the algorithm is sure, and I'm going to take its word for it, right? But I could actually send this to the lab at the University of Calgary with my colleague, and we're going to do that for 100 mosquitoes. I'll identify 100 with a machine. He's going to identify them using metabarcoding methods. That's all, like the gold standard for identifying mosquitoes, and then we're going to see how well the machine did. And then if I add that into the contributor data, so I can actually tag it and say, yes, I did a lab test, it's an Albopictus. Then they get that data back. That's how they get contributor data. But right now, I'm not giving them any of my data. I'm actually just identifying the mosquitoes for my study. Because I don't have the lab, technology to be able to identify for them, so I don't want to start messing with their algorithm by giving them wrong information. They're
a business. They're not a public. Public health agency of Canada will not allow that because they're a business.
Yeah.
You cannot be giving them public data if they're going to be selling it.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah. I mean, in general, there's a reason why I'm using my personal laptop today. Yes. I wasn't allowed to connect this machine with my government laptop, so
that makes sense.
A lot of this has to be done offline without the use of the government's Wi-Fi as well for security reasons. So for that reason, I'm not adding in the data, but I have this information. Like this is in my data set. Along with the image that I could sort of connect the data set to. So that's on my computer for my research.
This is impressive. What I'm thinking is, in the long run, if our partnership go on, the first thing will be, when we're tracking the video, we'll add the image to it, but most importantly, we can even augment this in our device, where our device itself, the one that tracks when the mosquito comes in, will have the image component in addition to your video. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering though, in addition to the lab in Calgary, for you to always send this to Calgary, because you are based here in Toronto, Is it possible for us to do it here as well as in Calgary? We can equally do it in a lab here on campus as well as Calgary.
If you have a lab, do you have a lab here that does metabar coding for mosquitoes?
They should be. I will get back to you.
Yes.
Yes. Just give me a few days. Before the end of next week, I'll get back to you.
Okay. Yeah. I'm open to collaboration. Like I said, I'm not limited. Just because I work with Calgary or Windsor doesn't mean I can't work with other universities. And there's no competition because there's just so much that we can do. So, you know, really, I'm open to any types of collaborations and different collaborations.
I think a lot of this is really the future of research. I mean, we need this to advance climate and vector-borne research, because with climate change, velocity moving towards the North Pole, we'll see a lot of these mosquitoes coming. And I'm glad that you are focused on this.
Yes.
This is your main. Do you have a team at Public Health Agency working on this, or just you?
It is really me and my students. Like, there's not really a lot of us. We're a very small team at the agency. So.
With your students at Guelph?
Yes, students at Guelph. But I can take students at the University of Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're affiliated to HPME, right?